again, good morning to you all, and you are welcome to STT 205, Statistics for Management Science. So let me share my screen, and let's begin the race. So I believe you can see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So we are moving towards this particular topic, central tendency, measure of central tendency 1, arithmetic mean. Please mute yourself. It doesn't bite. Just mute. Please mute yourself.
Yes, ma'am. So I'm talking now.
So we are here now. Just a minute. Let's open. If you have it, you can just hold on and come.
It's networking. We have a good network. Network. Mobile network. Network. My water. We will swell up. Can I don't get money. I don't get money. Say they mad. Okay, get the fuck guy.
And class, chicken rubbish.
Okay, thank you for waiting. Please, who are these NURTW now? So like I said, I will just do one or two example here, then we move on. You see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
It's blonde, sir.
It's not on.
It's
It is
blonde.
on, sir. It's clear. It's clear.
Very clear, sir.
Okay. If it's blunt, meaning it's from your side. So there we have arithmetic mean of on group. And I hope we are taking we are recording right.
Yes, recording is in progress.
Okay, thank you. So we have two things. Number one, group and ungroup. And part of the question that I've seen in your exams, what they will ask, they can give you some set of data and ask you to find the arithmetic mean. Now, if you don't know the formula, here is the formulas which we are going to still solve some of those problems all together. But now, I will just solve one question and it will cater for all. So we need to solve something on mean, median, mode, and range. Mean, median, mode, and range. Okay, how do we solve them? It is very simple. Let's look at this question. Question one, calculate the mean, median, mode, and range of the following set of numbers. We have 3, we have 5, we have 3, we have 7, we have 2, we have 5, and 3. So for us to solve this problem, what is the formula for mean? Solution, we need the formula. The formula for mean, which is x bar, is the same thing as summation of x bar I all over n. So for our mean, let me just put it mean,
Now,
is equals to, so which means we need to add everything together by saying 3 plus 5 plus 3 plus 7
plus 5 plus 3 plus 7.
So everything, how many numbers do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, divided by 7. So we now have it to be summation of x by I into n divided equals to 28 divided by 7, which is equals to 4. Now, for us to find the media aspect of it, Sylvester, Joy, Daniel, mute yourself. Or else I will remove you from the Zoom. Check your gadget, everybody, and mute yourself. The median will be, you rearrange the numbers or the data sets. We rearrange it. How do we rearrange it? We rearrange it in 2 ways, is it ascending order or descending order? So let's start with the small one, which is 2, 3, 3, and 3, 5, 5, and 7. So which one is the middle one?
3.
We have 1 here. We have another one here. 1, 1.
The
Another one.
median is
5
3.
and 3.
3 is middle.
Is
3
what?
and 5.
Is
It's
what?
3.
3.
3
That's
and
the
5.
answer.
Just 3. It's just 3.
It's
Then
3.
for the mode, the mode is the frequency, the occurrence, the number that occur most. Which number occur most in this case? We have the highest appearance. Is what?
3.
3. You write it there. That's the mode.
3, sir.
You're welcome. So the range, we need to calculate the range. The range is, what is the highest value here?
7.
7. The highest value minus lowest
value.
That's 7 minus 2.
value, exactly.
That's 7.
So which is
minus 2, which is
7
5.
minus 2, which is equals to 5.
5.
That's all. That's how you solve that problem.
Thank you, sir.
So
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
you're welcome. So let's look at another way. So for another way, we have another question in number 2. We have the following are remember the first one is on arithmetic. Then we want to see the following are, because I'm just doing a kind of summary, are the sales of 15 marketer in a bank. We have 15. We have 131, 129, 130, 126, 131, 128, 129, 130, 128, 130, 127, 129, 127, 128, and 129. So how many?
15, sir.
15, sir.
15.
15.
It's okay. So we have 15, right?
15 figures.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
15, 6. Now, the question says, create a frequency table for the data. Create a frequency table for the data. B, find the mean, median, and mode. Mean, median, and mode. Remember everything we are doing on the table. We are doing it on the table. So in this case, we need to create what we call the X. Our X is the number of sales, is the sales we have of grant. Our X is the number of sales we have on grant. Can we list the sales we have on grant accordingly?
131.
Now let's count it. Which one is the least one? Let's start with the least.
126.
126. Followed by
127.
Followed by
128.
128.
129. 129. 130. And 131.
130.
So our tally method we still remember.
Yes, sir.
How many 126 is there?
Just one.
One. Our frequency, we create it. 1. How many 127 do we have?
2, sir.
3.
It's 2.
2.
How many 128 do we have?
3.
3.
3.
How many 129 do we have?
4.
4.
How many 130 do we have?
3, sir.
3.
I didn't even hear what you said.
How many 131 do we have?
2.
In
2.
total is what?
131 is 2. 14 is 2.
Okay,
No,
sorry,
it's 15.
15.
In total is what?
15.
15, sir.
15. Now, in this case, we have a formula called our mean is the same thing as summation of fx all over summation of f. Please write it down.
4, 3. Summation of f.
So now we know our f, we know our x. So in this case, let's formulate fx. Press your calculator and tell us the value.
126.
Number 1 is 126.
254. 254.
254.
Yes, sir. 384.
384.
516.
516.
Then we have 390.
390 and
Then 252.
252.
262. 262, sir.
So sum everything together. What do you have?
We have 1932.
Just call the value.
1932.
1932.
32. Yes, sir.
That is
1932.
1932.
1932.
Okay. Now, can you calculate your mean now? What do you have?
192 divided by 15. Right?
Our mean
By 15.
I mean, it's
is equals to
128.8.
summation of fx divided by summation of f, which is
128.8.
1932 divided by 15.
15.
What's the final answer, please?
128.8.
Is what?
128.8.
128.8.
That's the mean, sir.
That's our mean.
Or 120, that or 129
If you
when you
approximate
approximate
it,
it.
129.
129 when you
You are
approximate
your
it.
own. Okay. Now we are
The
asked to
answer is
calculate our median.
128.
The middle number.
How do we identify the middle number? So how many number do we have here?
15.
15. What is the middle of 15?
7.5.
7.5.
7.5. If you approximate 7.5, is what do you have?
8.
Now go to your frequency. Where does 8 fall into when you add everything together?
129.
Are you getting the method now?
129.
Yes.
Now let's add it.
129.
We have
129.
wait. We have 1 here. 1 plus 2.
3.
3.
3. 3 plus 3.
6.
6 plus 4.
10.
So meaning that at this point, I will have my median. Are you getting the idea now? So our median is what now?
129.
129.
129. So what is your mode?
Amount is
131.
130.
129.
129. 129. Appears more.
One that appears
mode is one.
more is what?
129. I got this today. It's very hot anyway.
You don't know.
That's what they ask you to calculate. So somebody is raising their hands. Please, everybody mute yourself.
28 is 3.
Where's my man?
Yes, gift.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to ask. Did you add tally for the table?
What happened to the table?
I said the tally, the column for tally, must it be included?
Okay, Rebecca. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's continue, please.
Please, sir, I don't
Yes.
really get the explanation on the summation effects of media.
You didn't get the submission. I can
of media.
Of median.
Yes, sir.
What happened to the summation of median?
I didn't really get the explanation. There's a way you calculated it.
All we did was, how many figures do we have? What is the middle number of this figure? The number, the total. We agree is 15, right? If it is 15, what is the average of 15? When you divide the 15 into 2, what do you have?
7.5.
And 7.5, when you approximate it to the whole number, what do you have?
8.
Now, we come to the frequency, add everything together, where does 8 fall into?
129.
You get it now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I just want to ask, if you have a group data, how do we solve median and mode? Oh, okay, sir.
This is just, I believe you know that this is on group data.
Yes, this is on group data.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, let's continue, please. We have for group data. For group data, it's for us to calculate the mean for group data, we have, let's quickly write the formula down, please.
Yes.
Sorry, who is Joy? Joy, you know yourself. If you don't want me to delete you finally on this group, mute yourself. I've been trying to put you on waiting room for days and you still come back. It's very simple. Just mute yourself, please. Our mean for group data is the same thing as x bar equals to summation of f of x all over summation of f. Then the median is different. It's the same thing as lower class boundary plus summation of
brackets
f over 2 minus cumulative frequency of class mark divided by frequency of the median class. Everything multiplied by class width.
You should stop life with me. Oh, me,
Please mute yourself, oh, this Yoruba people.
Please, people shall allow us to hear something now. You're in the class.
So, number one, where LCB is the same thing as lower class boundary yes, wealth. Or what's the name, please? What's the question? lower class boundary of the median class.
Sorry, can you come again?
Cumulative frequency, DMC, is the same thing as cumulative frequency before the median class. Then we have FM to be frequency of the median class. Frequency of the median class. Then this is class
W.
width. Class width. Okay. Azana, what's the problem?
I just came to take my complaints. So many people are unmuted and they make noise and disturb the class. So I didn't talk, you just sent me out of the class. Now I missed what you did at the back.
You will see it on the record. You yourself joined them. That's why I put you out of the class.
I don't know my speaker is on, sir.
When you know next time, always check it.
Then
Others will also join. So
okay.
when you see the record, you can continue from there. But just listen to what we are doing now. Once you are not there, once you are not muted, whether you talk or not, I will send you out.
Sir, some people are still unmuted. Send them out.
I will still send you out now. Okay. The question says, we have this formula that we are to make use of. Please take note of the formula. If you check your books, there are different formulas there. We are still going to have the same answer. But one of the things, because some of the formula here is scattered, that's why I don't bother myself using some of them. But you can also do the same thing. So let's move on. Now let's look at this question. The question says, we have the number, we have age, Fatima or Motosho, mute yourself. That's the last one, or else I will just remove you. Karin, the fact baby, what's the question?
Okay, you said you are not going to use the formula in the book because
it's the same.
Arrive in the same place. But in an exam, they can ask us what's the formula for this, and we need to write the same thing that is inside the book, not the one we're using now.
Nobody will ask you to write the formula. They will only allow you to apply it. It's the same formula. Look at it. Is it not the same thing I gave you now? Can you see your screen?
Yes, yes, sir.
What is this formula for? The one I circled.
It was finding the media of the group data.
Is media or the mean?
Mean. Sorry, mean.
Look at the one I gave you. What do I call it?
Yes, the same thing. No, I'm just asking general because there's some that you said is not the same way. So I'm just
saying that I will show you some. If you look at this one now, I will explain this one later after I finish this question. I want to show you. Okay. Probably let me quickly digress because it's one of these. Everybody just hold on. The one you are now. Let's look at this question. Let me explain it. One that's for all. This question is for that. This question, can someone tell me, is it group data or group data? It's example 5.5.
It's a group data, sir.
Group data.
Is it group data or is not? Is it group data?
Yes, sir, it's group data.
Really?
It's on group.
Group data.
Okay, look at the question. This is the question now. As you can see, the question. Hey, Jesus.
Oh, wow.
I love this.
If you talk, I will send you out
move from your end.
Not to mute is to delete them off.
You will be number one because I didn't ask you to talk. Okay. Now let's look at this. You have to be careful when you are dealing with data. Let's come from here. Let me take you to 5.2. From 5.2, we have the data like this. This is from here, rather. We are talking about on group data here. Till we get to this place. Still on group data. Here, do we call this one group data or on group data? If you know the answer, type it. Don't talk, just type it. Type your answer. On group data, yes. Somebody say on group data. Do we all agree? Type it. Group data, okay. On group data, okay. Okay. Group data. Okay, now, how do we identify on group data? I've told you on group data, we not have a range. You can see here that this data, there's no range. It makes it on group data. But if you look at this, look at it. This is on group data. No. Now, look at the group data now. There is the interval between them. That is from this particular to this point. There is an interval between them. Make it to be what? Group data. So this particular one is on group data. Now, how do we solve on group data? In using assume mean method. We have assume mean method. Assume mean method is this. Please write it down in your notes. I'm not going to do anything. This is assume mean method. That is, our x bar is equals to A plus summation of Fi di divided by summation of Fi. So this particular one, what does it mean? How do we get our di? Our di is the same thing as Si minus A. A is assumed value from the frequency. Assumed value you have from your xi. You pick any value here. That's what we did. We pick any value from here to be your A. That's why they call it assumed value. Fagbemi.
Yes, sir.
You raise up your hand. What's the question?
No, I've raised it up since you've answered me. That's why you were solving this.
So we have assumed value. That is, what it simply means is, remember the question you are given. The question you are given is here from 5.2.
Monday.
So the question you are given is there. So what you need to do is pick any value from here. Pick any value, then use it to multiply, use it to find. It will not be, if I want to find, this is the formula, I can say di, this is where they did it. You remember in this question, they picked 13. Oh, number mute yourself. That's your last chance. I will also take you out of the group. If you don't know how to operate it, ask people around you to help you. So what will happen here is the author picked 13 as assumed value, meaning they are going to say di will be xi minus 13. Anytime I know my xi to be in this place, so I will have 11 minus 13. What do I have? Minus 2. You see? 12 minus 13. What do I have? Minus 1. 13 minus 13 is 0. The next one will be
14 minus 13 is 1.
Another one will be 14 minus 13 is 1. 15 minus 13 is 2. I hope you are getting it. It's in your book.
Yes, sir.
Then 16 minus 13 is what? 3. So what you do is, it will not be D, let our D multiply by our F. F I multiply by D I. So that's why we have here. Minus 2 times 2, minus 4. Minus 1 times 1, 3, minus 3. 0 multiplied by anything is 0.
0.
1 multiplied by 7, 7. 2 multiplied by 2, 4. 3 multiplied by 1, 3. So when you add everything together, don't forget your formula is up here. This is your formula. Our assuming is what? 13.
13.
Minus, will now be plus what? What is the summation of FD?
7.
7.
7 divided by?
7 divided by summation of Fi, which is 20.
20. What do you have at the end of the day?
Calculator.
You have 13 plus what?
Plus 7, 20. That's 1.
No.
0.35.
0. Don't add this one together. This is not together. You need to first of all deal with division first.
Broad mass.
Broad mass.
10.35.
0.35. Thank you. 13 plus 0.35.
13.35.
13.35.
That is it. Now, let me prove something to you quickly. I can choose not to use 13. You don't need to be afraid.
You will still arrive at the same answer.
You will still arrive at the same answer, but let's do it together. Now, somebody should pick A.
16.
16, okay. She picked 16. Let's try 16. Now, our A is equals to 16. Please do it in your notes by yourself. So 16, right? So we have it to be we want to calculate our D now. So it's going to be D
11 minus 16. 11 minus 16.
11 minus 16. What do you have?
Minus 5.
Minus 5. Let's just be writing it down. Minus 5. 12 minus 16.
Minus 4.
Minus 4. Yes.
13
minus 16.
Minus 3.
Minus 3.
Yes. Then 14 minus 16.
Minus 2.
Minus 1.
Minus 1.
Minus 1.
And there's nothing like minus 0.
0 is 0.
0.
0 is 0.
Now, let's multiply minus 2 times minus. So now, minus 5 multiplied by 2.
Minus 10.
Minus 4 multiplied by 3.
Minus 12.
Minus 3 multiplied by 5.
Minus 15.
Minus 15.
Minus 2 multiplied by 5. Minus 2 multiplied by 7.
Minus 14.
Minus 14.
Minus 1 multiplied by 2.
Minus 2. Then 0.
So let's sum it together. Add it together, please, everybody.
That would be 63. That should be 63, sir.
No. Any other person?
Rather.
Is what?
Minus 63.
Minus what?
5.3.
Yes.
Minus 53.
Minus 5.3, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now we have minus 5.3. Don't forget, our formula is A plus. Let's go to the formula. The formula is up here. We don't need to write it.
Okay.
A plus summation feeding.
This is your formula. Our A is 16. Are you getting it?
Plus.
Yes.
Plus. What is the?
Yes, sir.
Minus 53.
Minus 53. Put it in brackets.
Minus 53.
Divided by?
Divided by 20.
Is it 20?
Yes, sir.
So Minus 53 divided by 20. What do you have?
Minus 2.65.
Minus 2.65.
Minus 2.65. So we have
2.65.
16 minus times plus.
Minus.
Minus
2.65.
65. So 16 minus 2.65.
13.35.
Can you see it now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it is possible you have the same answer. It is the same answer you have automatically if you do your diligence very well. Can you see? So that is assumed value. Now let's move into our core problem that we are solving. Now you can do the same thing for this one too. You can use assumed value. You can see the way we use assumed value. Please take your time and do all these things in your own way. Don't wait for me. So now let's quickly do this. Yes, questions always come on weight mean, and I want you to listen very well. I'm fine. Questions always come on this. How do we solve this? Look at the formula. The formula says X bar weight is equals to summation of weight I, XI, all over summation of weights I. They are very simple. So we know X bar I is the same weight value of the items.
Will you
then
only share what you have with him and your small brother?
So we have the example here talking about the weight. What is the weight value? If you read from here, if you read it from here, the formulas are very simple, like the same way of showing the interest of relative formulas and some other things. So here we have the percentage of score and we have the credit unit where we normally do our exam. So yes, Asada.
So what about the one that you started?
No, we are going to finish it. Don't worry. That's the group data. I just quickly want to explain this because we are moving towards it. So what they normally do is have it to be our score. Here is the score, which is going to be our SI. That is our class mark. Then the weight for it is the credit unit. You can see that is where they put credit units there. Meaning you have a class mark is here, and we have the credit unit here. This multiplied by this will give you this. At the end of the day, a weight is like a frequency. When you sum the frequency together, you have 14. At the end of the day, use the same SI, the summation of, that is, the summation of weight SI divided by summation of weight. So at the end of the day, you have this. So I just quickly digress on all these examples so that when you are at home, you can do this on your own. You don't need to submit it. Do it on your own. Exercise 5.2. It's the same way I explained. Then please go and read this. Know the difference between Aisha Ejiko. Be careful. Mute yourself now, or else I will send you out again. So go and learn. Read all these advantage and disadvantage of arithmetic mean. Please take your time and read them. Afolabi Odunayo. Yes, what's the question? Okay, so all these, let's go and learn them. Now let's move on to the group data that we are in before we a bit digress. So I have here for group data. I have 11 to 20. I have 21 to 30. I have 31 to 40. 41 to 50. 51 to 60. 61 to 70. 71 to 80. So then we have the frequency. For the frequency, we have 3. We have 3. We have 4. We have 7. We have 8. We have 5. We have 2, and we have 1.
Wallahi. See, some people say I talk too much, but you talk too much now.
So in this case now, we can proceed by saying, what is the total value for frequency? Anybody?
30.
30, thank you. The question asks, we are asked to calculate the mean, median, and mode. Mean, median, and mode. So here we have X as our class mark. How do we calculate the class mark, please? Anybody? Aliyu Abubakar. Yes. Go ahead.
Which book is that?
You said? Rafat, follow Rusho.
I'm asking
11 plus 20 divided by 2.
11 plus 20 divided by 2, that is the class interval. You add the class interval together, which is 11 plus 20 divided by 2 will give you class mark. Okay, thank you. Everybody do that. Your notes. Abubakar, what do you say?
Now, which book is this? I'm new here.
You are new. Go to your course page, you will see your course material there, then download it. I'm not using it anymore. Thank you. Okay, so the first one is 15.5. Do we all get that?
Yes, sir.
Rafat, follow Rusho. Any question?
No, sir.
Please lower your hand.
So I don't understand.
75.5. Which one you don't understand, Clement? Which one? What we are doing in class, this is, let me write this one, class interval. Then here is class mark. So that's all. What we do is class marks means add the upper class interval plus lower class interval, divide them by 2. I taught you sometimes ago. That's what we did. Now, from the formula, if you read the formula that we need, for us to calculate the mean, we need summation of fx divided by summation of f. Summation of fx, that means we need f multiplied by x, meaning 3 multiplied by 15.5. Please do that in your notes. We have it to be 46.5, 102.0, 248.5, 364.0, 277.5, Any question? Wisdom, what's the question?
Good morning, sir.
Morning.
Sir, please, how do we get this class interval? Because
It's
it's
the
not here in
question. That's the question that you are given. Class interval and the frequency, they will give you the 2.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Elisha. Evelyn.
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Yes. What's the question?
Sir, I didn't get what you said last. After we finished calculating the class interval, you said we should calculate what, sir?
Class mark. We didn't calculate class interval. You are given class interval and frequency. So you have to calculate class mark. After that, multiply class mark, multiply by frequency. You will have it.
Okay, here. Sir.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sarah, mute yourself. Last warning, please. Put it there. Okay. Akinola, or what is your name? I said use your real name because I don't know how to. Can you rename yourself?
That's my name, sir.
Rename yourself.
Akinola, sir.
So Akinola what?
Let me ask my question, sir. Akinola Bimbola.
Okay. What's the question? Make sure you rename yourself.
Okay. My question is this, sir. How did we get the FX? I don't know how to get it, sir.
X is 11 plus 20 divided by 2. 11 plus 20 divided by 2. Then you do the same thing to all, and you get the answer. Is it okay?
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. So let's sum it together, please. What do we have? Where you sum it? Then
1,245.
1,245.5.
Do you have 0.5 again?
No, sir. There's no 0.5 there.
There's no 0.5. Please check. So for us to calculate the mean, you write the formula. X bar is the same thing as summation of f of x divided by summation of f, which is equal to 1,245 divided by 30. So what's the answer, please?
41.5.
Thank you. 41.5. So the next is, remember we need lower class boundary and upper class. We need lower class boundary. Remember the way we were taught. Let's formulate our class boundary now. Let me just write it here. Class boundary, lower class boundary to upper class boundary. So how do we get our class boundary? From here, you deduct 0.5 and you add 0.5 to this side. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Yes.
10.5 to
So
21.5.
21.5. No, sorry, sir. Is it 21 or 20.5?
It's 20.5. Thank you.
20.
I was trying to delete those drawings. I don't know why. Some of you are just like, $20.5. Then the next is 20.5
to 30.5.
to 30.5. The next
30.5 to 40.5.
Yes.
40.5 to 50.5.
We have some. We have 40.5 to 50.5.
Then we have 50.5 to 60.5.
And
60.5 to 70.5.
70.5 to 80.5.
now it's very simple. In this case now, we need to get our media class. But for us to get the media class, Wisdom, what's the question?
Thank you, sir. In this very question, this class mark, in a case of where we did know there's class mark is not given, we see F and FS. Do we automatically know that it's class mark in this case of S?
Your question, declare. I didn't understand what you are saying.
I say in this very question, if for instance this S and FS, if this class mark is not given in the question, we see S and FS, do we automatically know that it's class mark?
Definitely, they will not give you, when it comes to group data, they don't give you class mark. But when it comes to group data, you will be given class mark. Is that okay?
In case we see S or FS, that is the reason.
You hear what I'm saying? We are saying the same thing.
Okay.
In group data, once the question mentions group data, you should know that you have to calculate your class mark.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, let's continue. At this point, we need another column called cumulative frequency. Call it CF, cumulative frequency. Let's go to our frequency and sum them and find the cumulative. The first one is 3. 3 plus
4 would be 7.
3 plus 4?
7.
7.
7 plus 7?
14.
14.
14 plus 8?
22.
22.
22 plus 5?
27.
27.
27 plus 2?
29.
30.
29 plus 1?
30.
Okay, now, how do we calculate our median class? How do we calculate median class? If you know it, you can raise up your hand.
Could you get this? Because 50.
If you are talking, raise up your hand, please. Gift, yes?
Yes, sir. The frequency is 30, and our median class will be divided by 2.
Okay, media class supposed to be divided by 2, the total frequency, right? So for media class, we have 30 divided by 2, which is 15. Now, go and check in your cumulative frequency, where do you have 15?
We have 15 in 41 to 50.
$22.
Yes, that's from 41 to 50.
We have 50, 54 between
41 and 50.
Yes, yeah. You know, it's not in 14, but it's here.
Sir, it's here.
So circle this place in your notes.
Sorry.
Madam, sorry, please mute yourself. So we have it at this page. So the next thing we need to do is yes, I'll do.
Morning, sir. Please come again about this last explanation. Sorry.
Which of the last explanation?
The one we just cycled.
Okay. What we did, just mute yourself. Peter, mute yourself. Daniel, mute yourself. Asana, what's the question? Aluko Kolawole, mute yourself.
Yes, sir. Why do we always circle this median class?
How many times have I circled?
We've circled it twice. Sir.
Twice. Okay. That's what you are counting. Keep it up. Better learn. We are just, all I'm just doing is just to distinguish between them. Not that there is nothing special about them, because it's the class we are working with on. So what I did was, the first person that has question, you need to add it from this table. Now we don't know the class, media class. For us to identify media class, remember, is the middle number. Now, how do we know, identify the middle number here in a group data? Now we know the summation, we know the final answer to be this. This is the final answer. This is the total frequency. But we cannot get it here. So what we need to do is just to come, divide the total frequency, which is 30, divide by 2. So divide it by 2, what do you have? You have 15. You see? Now that I have 15, how do I get 15? There's no 15 in the frequency. But when I sum it together, I find the cumulative frequency, I will get something related to 15. So we now said 3 plus 4, 7. 7 plus 7, 40. 40 plus 8, 22. We know that 15, we can get 15 from 22. So automatically, this is the class we are working, our median class is. So that is why I circle it. And that is what we are doing. Now, we will now go to our formula. Remember, we still want to calculate our median. Median class is different from median itself. The formula for median is here. Lower class boundary of the median class that we just discovered, plus, open the bracket, summation of frequency divided by 2 minus cumulative frequency of the median class. Cumulative frequency before the median class. That is what we are doing here.
BMC.
Cumulative frequency before the median class. And then the frequency of the median class. That is how we solve it. Now let's do it one after the other. The median is equals to lower class boundary. Okay, let me just list them one after the other so that it's one. The lower class boundary
is 41.
For the median class is equals to what?
40.
Let's go.
5.
Lower class boundary for the median
40,
class.
40.5.
Aha, you see?
40.5.
Who is saying 41?
He's looking at the class interval.
Don't use class interval. That's why I circled. You can see now. Asada that is asking me why you always circle it. You see? This is class interval. It's different from class boundary. So now everybody, what is the lower class boundary for the median class?
40.5.
40.5.
40.5.
40.5.
Then we need to calculate also, we need to check the summation f over 2 is what? 30 divided by 2, which is equal to what?
15.
So it's 15, right?
Yes.
Now, what is the next thing is cumulative frequency before the median class.
14.
Cumulative frequency before
14.
is 14. Do we agree?
Yes, sir.
Then, what is the frequency? What is the frequency of the median class?
22.
20.
Frequency, not cumulative.
8. Sir.
Okay. 8.
Is what?
8.
8.
Now, what is the class width? The range
10.
between them.
It's 10.
10.
10. Thank you. So our median class can now be in this form. Yes, gift.
The other one is 7 before the median class. 7.
So what is your median class?
41 to 50. And the 50 before it, that's how I understand this.
You better try to understand. Look at the table. Have you seen the table now?
Yes, sir.
So this is cumulative frequency before the median class is this one. Thank you. Abraham.
Sorry, sir, I didn't get this width, which is 10. I didn't get how you got it.
No, from here to here. How many number is in between? Okay, let's say from here to here. How many number is in between? In the class mark. You see that? 25.5 minus this. What do you have?
We'll have 10. 25.5 minus 10
is what?
10.
Okay. Then if you come to 11, 20, all this one, the range between them, they are 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Yes, Musa Abdulsalami.
Good morning, sir. You have already answered the question, sir.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, let's proceed. For the formula, we have the formula already. So the first thing is what? 40. The lower class boundary is 40.5 plus, open the big bracket. The cumulative, the summation F divided by 2 is 15 minus cumulative before frequency, cumulative frequency before the modal class, before the median class is what? 14. Everything divided by 8. Multiply by 10. Any question? So from here, if you punch your calculator very well, 40.5 still remain. Don't jump the clue. Don't just add it together. So you have 10/8. Then at the end of the day, you have 40.5 plus 1.25. The final answer is 41.75. Any question? Margaret, what's the question? Kindly mute yourself. Fagbemi, what's the question? Okay.
Not that I've understand this.
Okay. Audu.
Yes, sir. The last total we are doing now, 40.5 plus 10. I thought to this 15 minus 4 in the bracket. 15 minus 14, sorry. Is it not 1?
10 times 1. Punch your calculator.
Hello, sir.
Just punch your calculator, I've had you. Okay, let's continue. The next question is mode. The next question is mode. How do we get the mode here?
Progress.
So the mode is the most appeared number.
But in the group data is quite different. The way we calculate it is different.
Okay.
So let me just show us a kind of formula here that we normally use. And although everything here is scattered, but you will still get it, don't worry. I will try and rewrite the question, the formula for you here. This is how they put it here. They said, open the brackets, D1 all over D1 plus D2. Everything multiplied by W. Now, your D1 is the same thing as frequency of the modal class is the same thing as F1 minus F0, and D2 is equals to F1 minus F2. You see, this is the formula we are using. It's in your notes, it's in your textbook. But when you see it in another way, it's still the same thing. So what you need to do is look at the definition. F1 is the same thing as frequency of the modal class. And F naught is the same thing, frequency of the class before the modal class is there. Then F2, our F2 is the same thing as frequency of the class after the modal class. So first thing is, how do we get what's the modal class? Let's go to the table. We have our table with us. Yaya Muraina, what's the question?
Yes, sir. What about the L1?
Is lower class boundary of the modal class.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
Now, what is the mode from the definition? Our primary school definition is what? Anybody?
So I said Bodman.
Number with the highest frequency.
The highest frequency. What is the highest frequency in this case?
8.
8. So we have 8, our highest frequency. Please take note, everybody. So meaning that our highest frequency is 8. Then what that the same class we are using for the median is the same thing. Not all the time, please, but just take note, it's happened in this case. So we can go ahead and solve the problem. We know our modal class. Now, let's solve the formula says L1 or Li. Let me use this so that you understand what I'm doing. Can you call the formula again?
Plus F.
Li plus D1 over D1 plus D2.
Is it plus or minus?
Minus.
Minus, okay.
Is it minus or plus?
So I thought you gave plus.
Don't thought, go to your book again, everybody.
It's plus.
Yes. You can see we are already
plus D2 all multiplied by W.
L1 plus open bracket D1 divided by D1 plus D2, then close brackets multiplied by W.
G2.
D1
plus
is in
D2,
brackets,
right?
Yes.
is in the brackets.
What is D1?
F1 minus F0. He say what is D1?
So what is D1, please, anybody?
D1 equal to
F1 minus F0.
What is F1?
F1 is the frequency.
Frequency of the modal class.
Of the media class.
Frequency of the modal class.
What is F0?
Frequency of the class
Frequency of
before
the
the
mother
mother
class
class.
before
The
the
lower
mother
frequency of the mother class.
Frequency of the
The
class
frequency
before the
of the
mother
class
class.
before the mother class.
Mother
Before the
class.
mother.
So let's check our table.
Before the renewal.
What is the frequency of the mother class?
8.
8.
8 minus F naught. What is F naught?
7.
7.
What is the definition of F naught?
7.
Frequency of the class before the mother class.
Before.
Frequency before. Thank you.
Is 7.
We know. Equals to what? 1. What is D2?
Frequency of the class alpha
F1 minus F2.
That's
F1
8 minus 5. 8 minus 5.
Please mute yourself, Madam Baby.
So it's 3, not 2.
It's 3.
It's 3. Thank you.
I think it's 7 minus 5. What's our F1, please?
F1 is what?
F1 is 8.
8.
F1 is 8. Frequency before F0 is F0 is what?
7.
7.
Then F2 is what?
5.
5.
After the frequency after the mother.
So we have it to be. Our width is what? Class width is what?
10.
Lower class boundary is what?
41. Sorry,
Really?
40.5. 40.5.
So let's put it in the question.
Mode equal to Li.
Mode equals to Li is what?
40.5 plus yes, we can.
Yes.
Yes, we can.
Solve this, all these exercise, try and lay your hands on it. Especially this, page 72. Solve the question there. Then on this particular one, I'll quickly just explain. There's no big deal in the geometric mean. Geometric means is on end root of the product. That is, in a situation whereby you are given, how do we solve geometric mean? The formula is very simple. The formula for geometric mean is we have GM, which is geometric mean, equals to, they can give you just 3 questions, 4 questions. They ask you to solve it. Is square root n equals to x1. It depends on the number they give you. Most times, the geometric mean question always come in this format. Please take notes. They can ask you, find the geometric mean of the following data. I've seen it in your question. And what does that mean? dot means multiplication, S2 dot S3 dot Sn. For example, if I give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I ask you to find the geometric mean, I said find GM, geometric mean. It's simple. How many number do I have? 5. It means my n is equals to 5. I can now do it 1 multiplied by 2, multiplied by 3, multiplied by 4, and multiplied by 5. What's the answer? So it's here. You just find the square root of that. When you find the square root of it, then you have your final answer. That's all. That is the root of that particular is on your calculator. You can press it. It's there on your calculator. So I wonder how your phone would help you out here. So please take notes of that. The same thing happened to logarithm. They can ask you to compute using logarithm, compute the geometric mean. Using logarithm, compute the geometric mean. Are you getting it? Press your calculator. It's the only calculator you need here to do it. The same thing happened to this question. Please take note of that. This particular one. All you need to press is calculator. That is 2 log 5 plus 3 log 6 plus 6 log 7 plus 4 log 8. And what is the total frequency of it? Everything divided by 20. All you need to do is use your calculator to solve it. I've seen questions on all this and I know what I'm saying. Now, when it comes to harmonic mean, on the harmonic mean, what we do in harmonic mean is your n divided by summation of xi. Your xi can take to the number of x that you have. All you need to do is just to add up. You see, we add up the reciprocal of the values. Divide the sum into the numbers of items. So that is, for example, look at this one now. How many number do we have here? We have 3. N is equals to 3 in this case. Then what you do for them is you divide everything one after the other. It will now be 3 divided by 1 all over 5, because that is the formula. The formula says 1 all over x, and your x is 5, 6, 7. So plus all these simple questions, they are very, very plenty in your exams. So if you love yourself, work on them. Don't overlook them, please. They are very important. So the same thing happened here. They can give you question example 6.6 that a motorist moved from point P to Q, a distance of S kilometer with a speed of 100 kilometers per hour, and returned to the point P with the speed 80 kilometers per hour. What is the average speed? What is the average speed in this case? So we all know how many times he moved. He moved from A. How many value do we have? We have 80 kilometers. We have 100 first, and we have 80 second. So I know there are 2. So my n is equals to 2 in this case, divided by
1 over
1 all over 100 plus 1 all over 80 that I used to run. When you punch your calculator very well, you have the correct answer. So please take note of that. You can use harmonic or to find the logarithm of harmonic. They can ask you. please work on that. So the next class we will be moving towards the main work. All this one we have been doing, we are just trying to, to encourage ourselves. So by the time we move to this side, we will have different formulas, the center. And I want you to go and read chapter 7, please. Everybody, make sure, write it down. Chapter 7, you must read chapter 7 before the next class. Read chapter 7, and if anything is not clear, come and discuss so that we can discuss. So you read chapter 7. We've solved OGIF. You know upper class, you know lower class, you know the way they solve it. Go and read. You know the what do we call it? I think I've solved some of those chapter 7 also. That's where the issue of this thing come up. We've solved chapter 7 rather. We don't really need all this chapter 7. I think we need to move to chapter 8. Yes, chapter 8. That's where I wanted to mention. Chapter 8, go and read chapter 8. They are full of definition, and this definition that can stumble you. So please, I don't want you to be. Somebody is saying something, okay? So let's try and do chapter 8. Read it. Some of the word questions, especially fractile, quartile, decile, percentile, please go and read them. They are simple, but can humble you if care is not taken. At least I've seen 10 questions on it in your exams. Go and work on that. So chapter 8, please go and read it very well. So from there, we'll discuss.
How come they got 3 again?
Are we there now? Can you hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. So I think some of you, next class will have a kind of, I'll try and get some questions done.